If you're currently renting and thinking about buying a home, you need to check this out. Hey, it's Craig back with another Mortgage Minute. And I want to talk to you about something that honestly I fail to really kind of take a look at with my clients a lot of times, which is totally my fault. But I wanted to make sure that someone that's currently renting and thinking about buying a home, I bet there's a part of this equation that you're not really factoring in. So let me tell you what I'm talking about. So let's say that someone's current rent is $1,500 a month. Okay. And let's say that they're considering purchasing a house for 275,000. All right, let's just use those numbers for a quick second. And they might be looking at a mortgage payment of somewhere around $2,000. Now, if you put more down, less down, that could be, a little bit different, but let's just assume a $2,000 mortgage payment. That's full payment, by the way. That's taxes, insurance, all that. All right. So a lot of times if someone's currently renting, they're going to look at that scenario and go, man, so my monthly housing expense is going up by $500. Woo, and I get it. $500, it's a lot of money. But there's a part of that you're probably not taking into consideration. And that is when you make your mortgage payment, the portion of your mortgage payment that is the actual loan, not the taxes and insurance, is called principal and interest. Okay. Yes, the majority of that payment is the interest on the front end of a loan, but there is a portion of that payment that is actually principal. So on the example that I'm using, the principal part of that $2,000 payment is actually $250. Okay. So if you want to think about the principal portion of your payment, you're paying your loan down by $250. That goes up slightly every month, but let's just stick with our 250 number. Okay. So when you go to sell that house down the road, it's almost like you're throwing $250 a month into a savings account that you're then going to access once you sell the home down the road. Now, why is this important? Well, because first of all, if you're paying $1,500 in rent and you're comparing it, the place that you're currently living to a $275,000 house, I think we can all agree that probably the $275,000 house is going to be a little bit nicer than the setup you got with your $1,500 monthly rent. Okay. Which means you're probably fitting your needs better in the $275,000 house. Now, look, you may be looking at a higher price point. You may be looking at a lower price point. The concept's the same. All right. So you're allowing yourself to get into a home that better meets your needs. Okay. And really your payment's only going up $250 because that additional $250 is going into that savings account. Now, here's the cool part. All right. 5 years down the road, if the home averages 3% appreciation, which is low compared to historical appreciation rates. And in my opinion, I think that's extremely low compared to the way homes are going to appreciate over the next few years. But if it was only 3%, that means your home's value would appreciate by $43,799. Okay. Now, remember, you're paying $250 towards principal. So $250 over a 5-year period is $15,000. So here's my question for you. If I asked you to put $250 into a savings account, so at the end of that 5-year period, I'm going to hand you your $15,000 back. Oh, and I'm also going to give you an additional $43,799. And that's all so you can live in a house that better meets your needs. Would you take that deal? I'm going to go on a limb and say you probably would. So don't just look at your current rent payment and the new mortgage payment and say, oh, my payment's going up by this much, because part of that is your forced savings into equity that you're going to reap the benefit of down the road when you sell that house. So if you have questions about that, call me. Like I said, I don't do a great job of always educating my borrowers about that principal aspect of the payment. So if you have questions about that, give us a call, 615-498-5626. Thank you for letting me share that. That was something that I realized this week that, there's probably a lot of people not taking that into consideration. So I appreciate you watching.